This is episode 73 of the Curios cast. This week we've got some weird news stories all about people being a bit too greedy. From a woman who married a man who's just a bit too much to handle, a surgeon getting carried away in an operating theatre just a bit too much, and a woman who has been told by her doctors that she's farting in jars just a bit too much. Hope you enjoy this week's episode of the Curios cast. Oh, it's been a few weeks since the three of us have been together.
It has. Whoa.
But we're back. We're strong.
Fucking hell, the Three Musketeers. The fucking three amigos. The three cunts.
Yeah!
5 seconds in. Come.
Yeah. It's been a good it's been a good little break away from you guys.
Yeah. Well, we had quite the opposite though, Tom. We had quite an intimate few days.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say I never actually had a break from you guys because I'd done I think 2 episodes with George and then I'd done an episode with you.
Yeah.
And we obviously went off to film the Shrovetide football game in Ashbourne.
I got a bone to pick with you as well.
Holding this podcast together.
I got a quick bone to pick with you, Tom.
Oh yeah.
You didn't fucking, he has a name, mate. You put it up.
Beethoven.
Rob, yeah, fucking hell. Rob
I thought just putting Van was funnier.
It was funnier. Writing Beethoven might have been a bit confusing.
Yeah. All right, so we're back with some weird news. Classic. I feel like it's always good to have a weird news when we've had a break from each other. You know, it's the classic. It's like the old format we used to run with every week. So
gives us that
luckily,
cohesion.
This episode, I've got really shit stories, so it's like a proper classic.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you've lubed up the listeners for that as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, if that doesn't lube you up for entry, I don't know what will.
I'm quite excited about my story. I want to go first.
Good. Okay.
So I think it's something we can all relate to as well. Like we've all been in like a similar scenario to this. So. Woman cries about how she married her husband because of his big manhood, but she can no longer take it anymore.
Ah, fuck it. We have all been there, haven't we?
Yeah.
We have all been
Savage.
there.
Yeah, so a lady has taken to social media to share her innermost predicament concerning her marriage. In the post she shared, the anonymous woman said she decided to marry a man with a big dick because when her parents were alive, her mother always quarrelled with her father for not satisfying her in bed and even threatened to divorce him. So it's all started at a young age when her mum was apparently loudly within her children's earshot complaining about her father not...
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, she has reached a point where she cannot handle her husband's big size. Yeah, too
Sounds
much.
Like a her problem, you know.
It's definitely her problem.
Yeah.
It said here anonymous woman, but then it says here her name. My name is Kadima. I think that's how it's spelled. I am from Onitsha, I think. A very popular city in Anambra, I think.
I thought that was going to be a limerick.
No. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing any of those words right. I'll link you the article and you can read it for yourself. But, so her name is Kamida. She is from eastern Nigeria. She's 23 years old and currently married to Hausa. It's spelled like how Germans spell house, but with an A at the end. Hausa.
Oh, a house.
Married to a Hausa man. Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's going to be like
maybe another area.
A group.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe a house. I don't know. Let's look it up.
I'll
look it up in the background.
Adamawa State in northern Nigeria. So she's from the east. He's from the north.
It's never going to work.
You know what they say about
people.
those northern Nigerians?
It's a group of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
My parents are no more as they both died in an accident while returning Abba 5 years ago.
Oh,
what,
so maybe they
No.
or they kidnapped Abba and they were returning him back to there. Or
yeah,
they
Abba is capitalised, so it's a name, capital A, B-A.
Or it's their friends, like ABBA dolls that they really cherished, and they nicked them and they were returning them, and then their friend didn't was really upset that they'd nicked them, so they killed them.
Maybe. It does say it's an accident, though.
Oh, okay. Maybe
I
they were
like the way
really
they
excited
say
to
it.
have them back and accidentally killed them. Because they'd
I like what
embraced
she
them
said
so
they
hard.
are no more. It's a very...
That's a weird turn of phrase, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
maybe
it's lost
in
in
the translation, maybe.
Yeah.
They are no more.
Yeah, but when they were alive, her parents always quarrelled over my dad not being man enough to satisfy my mum. And
That's
I
a
always
mad
heard my
thing to
mum
know.
threatening to divorce my dad and get married to another man before the unfortunate accident took them away.
It doesn't sound like it was an accident. I reckon this was all... he's faked his own death and the mum's buried somewhere and he's off pleasuring other women.
Yeah, he's had like 26 years of being told he's got a small dick and it's not good enough for her. And
That's pretty mad,
he
isn't it?
snapped. After my parents' death, I told myself that I'm going to get married to a man with a manhood good enough to satisfy me, so I won't have the problems my parents had in their marriage. That's the cure for all marital problems. Just make sure you marry someone with a big dick.
There you go.
Yeah. Biggest dickers.
I thought exactly that, George. I was thinking that since the start.
I met Haruna, my husband. Is that his name? It's the first time I've said his name, I think. I met Haruna, my husband, during my service year in Adamawa, and we fell in love with each other. But I had no intention of getting married to him, not until a day I mistakenly barged into his room without knocking, and I saw him unclad.
Unclad.
Unclad is good.
Unclad. It's great.
I immediately noticed his third leg and told myself I'm going to get married to him just to keep the promise I made to myself years ago.
A third leg.
Making mama proud. I and Haruna promised ourselves not to have any form of intercourse before our marriage, and we kept to it strictly. After our wedding, during our honeymoon, we had our first intimacy together. It was good, but I am scared because I almost lost my life during the encounter. Please, readers, advise me. It does say advise me. Please, readers, advise me on what to do. Should I take the divorce step my mum wanted years ago? That's it.
Wow.
So,
What do you think she should do? I think she should perhaps buy some sex toys that are in varied degrees
incremental,
of size and incrementally work her way up to receive her husband without pain.
Yeah, you've made your bed, lie in it.
Yeah.
Also, come on, man. This is a great case for why no sex before marriage is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
What a fail, eh?
Yeah, that would have fixed everything.
Well, yeah, we should have just not fixed everything, but just saved the turmoil of potential divorce because of dick.
Yeah, it's also weird.
They'd
She
have to
said
write
it
that
was
as well.
good, but also she almost lost her life.
Yeah, yeah. So good. Well, was that the problem? It was so good she nearly died. Like she thought like she reached nirvana. That was the end of it. Like nothing is good after this anymore. Everything is downhill from now because that was the greatest thing that's ever happened. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe, but she's locked it in. She's locked in that big dick now.
Maybe what he could do is like wrap his knob in cling film, so
It's tight.
minimises the girth. If he minimises, maybe it's okay. Or is it
That's what I do
a
sometimes.
question of length? Yeah. That's where I got the idea from.
Yeah,
Maybe, Maybe you're showing us.
Normal behaviour.
Yeah. Yeah, go back and listen to episode 3 for that visual. I forgot what I was going to say. It was really good though. Something funny.
Do you think he remains like, entirely tumescent? Like rock solid?
Turgid.
Or is there some
Turgid.
or is there
That's
some,
right, isn't it?
or is there some give? Because
Turgid.
I've heard, right?
Swollen, yeah. I guess you could go for turgid.
I've heard that sometimes, your fellas with the particularly large members
You have to thumb it in.
will struggle to get them all the way hard because there's so much blood to get in there. So there's a bit of like shoving. That's
Shove
have to thumb it
it. A bit of shove it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's important to the story. It's not. I was just curious.
There's no more information, unfortunately.
There's no more information, but there are some good comments.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you're going to talk us through some of these comments.
Yes, I mean, like the top one there is, my dear, you better run away for your dear life because that thing will not change its size any time from now. And then the next one is the complete opposite. And it says, I want a taste of that dick.
There's another good one here. It says, instead of using the whole dick, he can use half of it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. When I can't remember which one of you said, is it a problem with the girth or is it a problem with the length? The length thing can be combated just with some technique, right? You just don't go all the way in.
Yeah, just some cautionary practice.
Yeah. It is a bit, it's not as good for him, but, if it keeps everybody happy, that's just...
Exactly. Yeah,
and alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Not like poking out the stomach. Like.
That's awful.
Yeah. Pray before sex and all will be well.
And that's good advice. Yeah. That is great advice.
There's some horny girls in this comment. Please give me your husband. I love that kind of dick. Send him to me. I had similar issues, but it became okay with time.
Oh, well, that's much nicer.
Yeah.
Much more wholesome, that one.
Yeah, I think she can take it. Because if she said it was good, like, if it was so big that it made it impossible, then, she might have reasonable sort of grounds for divorce there. Like, if he couldn't even get it in, or if it was like ripping her apart. But... yeah, I know. But if she said it was good, just she was a bit scared, you can just give it time. Face those fears.
Yeah. Talk. What they need to do is have an open discourse about it. That's what I would say.
Your dick is too big.
Is this an agony aunt thing? Is there a reply from the aunt, or is this just like a comments-based?
Yeah, just comments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and someone says here, women will complain in all sizes.
That's a guy with a small dick right there, isn't it? That's some small dick energy.
Yeah, it is.
He's had some small dick complaints.
This website is great, by the way.
Yeah, I did. There's a lot of shit.
There's a lot of shit. And underneath, in the related news, my favourite one is... It's like one of these classic clickbaity things. The secrets you don't know about Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And there's like some shitty stock image of two naked people.
Yeah, I think when you go to these kind of shitty news websites and you have the all those even shitter news articles at the bottom, I think this little section is known as the Chum Bucket. And it is just like really bad, like AI written articles with these... Brilliant. Really clickbaity kind of pictures on there. The Chum Bucket. But yeah, big
Chum Bucket.
This is like I imagine this man is kind of like, it's like a monkey's paw wish where he's wished for a big dick, and at some point, and it's it's come around to bite him like a little genie. That's the thing with genies, right? You do a wish and then it's not what you. That's the whole moral is.
Knob.
Yeah, you don't always want to get what you wish for.
I thought genies just have free wishes, wouldn't it?
But
it's all good.
But it'd normally be the fable of the genie generally is like, you don't care for what you wish for kind of thing, isn't it? Like even with Aladdin, that's the general idea of the story, isn't it? That ain't all he's cracked up to be, being Prince Ali. Samani is he, Ali Ababwa. I don't know what that middle line is.
You got further than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that the monkey's paw is like I only really know it from The Simpsons. I don't know what they're spoofing from, but Homer goes to the market and he gets this monkey's paw and he only has 4 fingers because that's what they have in Simpsons. But so he gets 4 wishes and the finger goes down with every wish that he has. But the wish is always it always twists into a bad way. Like you wish, I wish I had all the donuts in the world or something, and then the donuts will fucking crush your house, and your wife's turned into a donut, and this and that. Like, it's yeah. Anyway, this guy wished for a big dick, not all it's cracked up to be.
Perhaps, yeah.
But women out there, you don't want a big dick, okay?
There's a guy.
Take it from us free.
I can't remember. What's that joke? There's a joke. There's something like there's a guy sat in a bar and there's a little fella next to him playing the piano constantly. And there's something about the joke where he's got a speech impediment maybe or something, and he turns.
Brilliant. So we're going to offend this little people.
No, well he turns and he turns and says something like, I wished for a 10-inch penis, or like it's the joke is somewhere is that he wished for a 10-inch penis and he got this 10-inch pianist.
It's great when you know.
That is the worst delivery of a joke.
I know. I wish I knew what the joke was. Insert other parts of the joke in. Make up the middle yourself.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Build your own joke.
What you can do is dub over the actual joke over what you just said.
Yeah, with that TikTok language. All right,
a midget next to a man in a bar is playing the piano.
So you
that sort of voice.
You fucked it now, Tom. George. So a guy walks into a bar one day and can't believe his eyes. There in the corner, there's a 1-foot-tall man in a little tuxedo playing a tiny grand piano. So the guy asked the bartender, where did he come from? And the bartender's like, there's a genie in the men's room who grants wishes. So the guy runs into the men's room and says, sure enough, there's this genie. And the guy's like, your wish is my command. So the guy's like, okay, I wish for world peace. And there's this big cloud of smoke and then the room fills up with geese. So the guy walks out the men's room. He's like, hey, bartender, I think your genie might be hard of hearing. And the bartender's like, no kidding. Do you think I wished for a 12-inch pianist?
I preferred your first telling of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this joke, I think they're taking the piss because it goes on for a while longer as well. And I guess it ends up sounding like my joke.
Love it.
This is actually really funny what they do there. Sorry, it just goes on to say. So the guy processes this and he's like, does that mean you wished for a 12-inch penis? And the bartender's like, yeah, why? What did you wish for? And the guy's like, world peace. So the bartender is understandably ashamed. And the guy orders a beer like everything is normal, but it's obvious that something has changed between him and the bartender. And the bartender's like, I feel I should explain myself further. And the guy's like, you don't have to. But the bartender continues in a hushed tone and he's like, I have what's known as a penile dysmorphic disorder. Basically what I mean is I fixate on my size. It's not that I'm small down there. I'm actually within the normal range. Whenever I see it though, I feel inadequate. And the guy feels sorry for him. So he's like, where do you think that comes from? And the bartender's like, I don't know. My dad and I had a tense relationship. He used to cheat on my mum. I knew it was going on, but I didn't tell her. I think it's wrapped up in that somehow. It goes on for ages.
Why does this joke need so much backstory?
I think they're taking the piss.
Is there a punchline at the end? Or is it
I don't know. I'm going to read this later. I didn't realise there was more scrolling. There was an advert. And I thought that's where it ended, but there's more scrolling. I'll read it afterwards. Obviously, what I told was the joke.
Come with a book after it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. The bit I told was the joke. They've obviously then had a joke out of the joke and continued on.
Sounds like one of those like adventure books, like Choose Your Own Adventure.
Oh, skip to page 40 if you wished for world peace.
Yeah.
If you wished for a smaller penis so you could continue a happy relationship with your wife.
Not in Nigeria, mate. No, none of that sort.
Well,
no.
But I wonder what his side of the story is. I want to know what the husband's side of the story is.
Yeah, I wonder if she's brought it up to him yet.
I hope so.
Honeymoon, it's like straight away, isn't it? It's like immediate. She should have given it at least a week or, a couple of sessions.
Sex?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
It's just after the honeymoon.
Oh, you mean to like decide?
Yeah, was it a one-off? Was it just that night?
He might not even be miraculously big. It might just be because it's her first dick she's ever had. Yeah. Like she's wow, I wasn't expecting that. I nearly died.
Maybe he has actually got a third leg.
Maybe.
And he's been using the third leg and she just doesn't know. I mean, that would be painful.
Well, that's one theory.
Yeah,
right.
There is one more comment. It's the most wholesome one. It's just, But talk to your husband. Instead of using the whole dick, he could use half of it. When you're in love,
That's what we said.
Something, you enjoy your marriage than giving up. Very broken English there. But
Great. Yeah, it's great advice.
Yeah.
I concur entirely with that.
yeah, so public service announcement to everyone out there that likes dick. You know,
This guy's about.
I was just going to say, you know, whether it's too big or not, keep going. And,
I thought you was gonna say
make it work.
Big dicks ain't all it's cracked up to be. So
No.
I'm about. You know, don't worry. Don't.
Yeah, if you're fed up with too many big dicks in your life, come to us free.
All right.
Brilliant.
I've got a less wholesome and possibly like just not that funny story, but
Oh, good.
it's just pretty mental. I thought it was interesting. It is kind of funny. No, it is kind of funny in a fucked up way, right? Liver branding transplant surgeon struck off medical register.
What?
I was going to bring this one.
Was it?
So yeah. This is pretty mental.
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Panel concludes Simon Bramall undermined public trust in his profession after branding organs during surgery.
That's sick.
It's mad. What I couldn't find is exactly how he did it. Like what he branded them with, but it basically says it says
like
burned. It says burned, yeah. But what did he do? He brought in a pyrography pen. A laser. Oh no, I did. Yeah, you're right. Actually, I did read something about a laser thing. Yeah, but like, what is that? Is it something you
laser
have?
thing?
Well, don't they use it to like cauterize stuff?
Right, maybe. Okay,
So,
yeah.
like-
I guess it must be something.
You wrote a medical journal. Tom.
Oh, you could cauterize many things and doodahs with that.
Oh yeah, it does say here using an argon beam used to stop livers bleeding. Right. I read a different article and I put this one because it says exactly what everything I needed to know. And the next line here,
I can tell the bits that really interested you.
no, it was a different
when you
article.
reading it.
It was a different article I read on my phone. Then I just googled it upstairs to load it up on the computer, and I've obviously loaded a different article, but it's the same story. So yeah, he admitted using an argon beam used to stop livers bleeding during operations and to highlight an area to be worked on. Right, that's what it's for. To sign SB into his patient's organs. Like, why the fuck did he do that? Like, what an absolute mentalist. Like, do you think a lot of people do it, and he's just the first one to get caught?
Yeah, how'd they find out?
Oh.
Well, they found out because another surgeon did. They basically had a liver. Yeah, it was a liver, and it didn't take. It had a problem, so he had to go back. For a consultancy, for a different consultant surgeon, and then when they opened them up, they saw it and took a
It's
photo.
probably. I think it's quite good practice, actually. So you know who has done...
Who's been in there.
Yeah, you know who's been in there. You've got
like
an
signing in
audit
and
trail of who has been working on this person.
I mean, I think you should have an audit trail anyway. I don't think they just let any old bloke come in and cut them up and then should we write down who did that? Nah, let's not bother.
Yeah.
Let's not bother with that.
So when your liver stops working... you haven't put it in properly. They can open it up and fucking old SB, him again.
Well, you hear about like people in factories, perhaps scribing their initials on a little piece of like, a car that's going to go into mass production.
Yeah.
And it's going to be deep inside the car that maybe one day someone might find it.
Yeah.
I've heard things like that before, or like parts of computers and shit. Maybe you look less do it with computers, but I've definitely heard it with cars and stuff. So maybe it's just that, I guess, in a way. I wonder how long he's been doing it, because it's apparently I think I read it like two people have well, definitely one he's been done for. Oh no, he was done on 2 counts of like battery, they called it.
I wouldn't mind if my surgeon done that to my liver, as long as it wasn't gonna affect how my liver worked too much. I don't mind having a little.
It doesn't, does it really? You've essentially got an internal tattoo. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like when you buy a bit of art and they do that little squiggle at the bottom.
I wonder
I don't buy art. Digital art.
I wonder who, like in that court case, who does the liver belong to? Is it the donor or the?
Well, his has got his name on it.
Well, yeah, but obviously
Well,
they
no.
don't know whether he scribed it on there before he attached it to the new person so it became theirs, or
Oh
did
yeah,
he do it to a dead person's liver so then there's no crime being committed.
yeah, because then you haven't battered that person
You
because
haven't battered 'em.
it
Exactly, 'cause
it
they're
wasn't them at that point.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I wonder if if his lawyers thought of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not,
They missed the fucking
He's like,
trick.
Your
Yeah,
Honour. He's like, this is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I now call the Curios cast to the stand.
yeah. We
well-
come rushing through. Objection.
I also want to know, like, because it's not just one bloke in a room doing this, is it? There's many people around when there's a surgery going on, and like, is he there like going, yeah, well, give me a sec, guys. And
yeah,
and they're like,
again,
what,
I mean,
what you doing, mate? Like, why are you fucking? And he's like, no, wait, this is me thing. This is my
Yeah.
thing. This is what I do. And you'd go, okay, sorry, doctor, because you wouldn't question it because the surgeon's like the
Yeah.
most high.
yeah, I mean, all I know about operating theatres, again, comes from The Simpsons. And it's like a big circle thing, and the surgeon's in the middle, and it's like there's a theatre, and people like sit and watch. So surely there's like a crowd like, watching these things.
That's
in the
Like the
1800s.
family sit up there and they watch and everything. That's what happens in The Simpsons.
That's definitely what happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like that's what happens with Dr. Nick, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I can imagine him putting his initials in there.
it's televised. It's a live stream surgery.
Yeah.
I wonder if that exists. I wonder if you can get live stream surgery somewhere. I bet you can.
Oh yeah, black market live stream surgery.
Next
I
episode.
read the article, and apparently did it to relieve stress during surgery.
What?
He starts doing like a fucking Sudoku on there or something. I just need to, get my mind flowing.
That's a
Yeah.
mental excuse, isn't it? It seems like because it's one of those professions apparently where you get like. I'm gonna say an absolute like figure here that I've just kind of made up with no reference or basis in any kind of like stats to back me up.
You're on
here,
the
but-
right podcast.
Yeah, but like you get a lot of psychopaths that are surgeons, or it's the sort of maybe not that way around, but it's the sort of career that a psychopath would go into.
He started off scribing the squirrels that he'd killed in the forest.
Well, I mean, like
and-
not even. It's just like it takes a certain person to do that. And to have that high level of focus and to be a fucking like, because you've got to be a sick cunt to be able to do that. Like, you've got to be like top level. Nah, it's just like, I played Operation. It's fucking, yeah, you have to be real top level, but you also have to be, you have to be a bit, you have to be a bit unique, don't you, really? And that could easily lead you to be like, whatever, like people die, they die. This is how I have to do it, a bit of a psychopath. Like, isn't the house supposed to be a bit of a like,
yeah, but that's a TV.
House isn't real.
Yeah, no,
It's not a documentary.
Yeah, he
Not
was
Louis Theroux.
a drug addict as well, I think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I think it is the sort of profession. I don't think I've just made that up. I feel like I've read that somewhere.
House
You don't really
synopsis.
see, I mean, there's like, doctors that are serial killers like that, like Harold Shipman.
Well, I mean, you don't
But
necessarily have to be a serial
He killed
killer.
people with poison and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But you don't really hear
that's
of
a
many
lame
serial-
way to kill someone. That's pussy way to kill someone.
But you don't hear of
it's
many
like-
surgeons that are serial killers.
No, and I mean, and you don't necessarily have to be a fucking.
Probably easy to get away with it.
You don't have to kill,
it didn't work.
yeah, you don't have to kill anyone to be a psychopath either, do
I
you?
don't
Like-
think it's easy as that, Tom.
Yeah.
Pack up.
Yeah.
Come on.
Maybe he was like leaving clues on people's organs, like SB is like stands for something, and then it's like the cicada mystery. He's like, you find SB and you're like, oh, that's the initials of the last person that he performed surgery on, and you go and you got to cut them open, and then you find the coordinates to some buried heart, and the heart has has a little note in it, and and eventually
right.
you get to the pot of gold or something.
It's at least not me that's just completely made it up, by the way. There's an article. It's actually a bulletin. It's a study published in the Royal College of Surgeons of England, and it is titled "A Stressful Job: Are Surgeons Psychopaths?" I mean, we're not going to... The conclusions...
Do
let's
they
read the
become
conclusion.
psychopaths because the job's
Well, let's
stressful?
read the conclusion. The studies show that consultants at teaching hospitals score higher on a scale of psychopathic personality than DGH consultants, who in turn score higher than the general population. The prevalence of stress immunity as the overriding personality trait in consultants may better facilitate patient care. So there you go. You've got to be more immune to stress, which means you're less empathetic, I guess. Empathetic, which means you score
So
higher.
basically,
on the
don't trust doctors. Don't trust them.
Well,
That's why I do all
relevant.
my own surgeries myself.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't trust them to like look after your kids, but they can cut
They're
you
not
open and put you back
nonces.
together again. Well, no, I mean, like, but like they might just leave them to fucking chew pins and eat rat poison.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
kids
why
want to
I'm
do.
offering child surgeries as well. So if you don't trust the doctors because they're psychopaths, trust
We have children that will perform the surgery on you.
podcaster. No, I will come and surgerise your children.
Surgerise with my atomic wand thing. But yeah, I mean, there's not much more to delve into the article. It is kind of mad, isn't it? He basically he got done for it. He got disbarred from. It's not called disbarred, is it? But he was suspended from his post as a consultant surgeon in 2013. Yeah, after another surgeon spotted it. It says a photograph of the 4 centimetre high branding. That's quite big, isn't it? Like he's had a good old fucking. How big's a liver?
At least
Their
that.
livers are quite big, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
surely.
pretty,
Yeah, like that big.
Yeah.
Like
So he's had a good old scratch in it, hasn't he? He's had a good old... I wish there was a photo of it. I wish there was one of those shit photos that you normally get in these sort of like... I mean, this is like a proper article, though. It's not like a shit.
That is shit. Shit.
But he got sentenced in here in 2018. He was told one of the victims suffered serious psychological harm as a result of the branding. Did they, though? There you go.
What? How?
I don't know. See, look, he's basically said it was a joke. It was a bit of bants. The surgeon later told police he branded the organs to relieve operating theatre tensions following difficult and long transplant operations. So yeah, the other people knew about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. They've all been stood around and he's gone, hey, lads, watch this shit. Watch what I do, look. You can see our thing out. They go, oh, you fucking nutter. And he's going, and he's like, yeah. They're like, oh, one of them, he's like, yeah. Another one, someone else has probably got a dick on him, haven't they? Like, he's like,
Oh, what would have been really good, just to fuck up the next person who does surgery, is you label the organs wrong. You write kidney on his liver, and then you write like bowels on his lungs, and get it all mixed up. So when the next person goes to remove something, take out the wrong bit.
I don't know what I was reading, but I heard about someone like having like one of their legs chopped off or something mad, or an operation.
It's a wrong leg.
Wrong
or
one.
an operation or something, or they had to sit there and like beforehand, like someone comes around and gives them a pen and goes like, yeah, right, which one it is.
Yeah, that's really common.
Yeah, and you have to write it yourself.
Yeah, like so you're liable, I guess.
I guess.
Say
That's
like
mad,
this
isn't it?
arm, and they put like, like this is the arm
This is the one. Take
to
this one
cut off.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, man, you want to fuck that up, would you?
Yeah, like good leg, bad leg.
By the way, human liver is 6 inches long, so he was pretty much doing. He was doing the whole liver.
15 centimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So his brand is the whole of the liver. You said
No,
it's 4 inches.
4
No,
centimetres.
4
4
centimetres.
4
centimetres.
centimeters. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like just under a third.
Yeah.
Still a decent amount of the liver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good amount of canvas to work with, though. He could have done something a bit better, couldn't he?
I wonder if it does affect its functionality in any way. Maybe like a fraction. It's like
Maybe-
a fractionally.
Probably
less
not. You'd
efficient.
think he would have been found out sooner. Like, he must have done this. This is just like for
I'm
the
talking
crack.
like, I don't know, it's like 0.5% less efficient than it was before or something, because surely
doesn't-
like some of its tissue obviously is.
It doesn't say. It just
scarred
basically says it's like, undermining trust, and it's not professional, and it brings, the profession as a whole into disrepute. It doesn't mention anything about it. It says here it's an act born out of a degree of professional arrogance.
Ooh.
I mean, which it kind of is, isn't it? It's like, I reckon he's just fucking psychopath.
I mean, it's not going to affect the industry in any way. If you need a surgery, you're going to get a surgery done. Like, you kind of have to.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just.
I think it's mad when you read about people having like stuff left in them when they've had a surgery. You know, like
That's my psychology teacher.
Did it?
Yeah, left some metal in her.
Wow.
It's nuts. Did you have to go get it removed?
I didn't.
No, did she?
Oh, I thought you said, did you have to?
I thought you said that as well.
Yeah, she had a bunch of surgeries for like all different things. She was mental. I don't, they were unrelated statements, but yeah, she had to get cut open a few different times. She was suing them for like shit ton of money.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I don't know what they left in her. It wasn't anything like sharp, like a scalpel or anything. It was like calipers or something. I don't know.
Yeah, pair of glasses.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Like, I just tried to find. Like, I searched his name and psychopath, and there's a Reddit.
That's a lead-in search there.
Yeah. There's a Reddit thread called r/sociopath, and it's like typical functioning sociopath surgeon fails to function. So it's just like a high functioning sociopaths is like a thing. That must be what this whole sort of thread is about. Wow, I'm gonna delve into that later.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the deepest thing ever, is it?
No, don't do it to like a heart or something.
No, he probably has. He knows what to do it to and what not to, doesn't he? That's probably the deal. Like, he's sick at it.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird though, isn't it?
It must have been fucking weird for the person who found it. Like you open up,
can you imagine,
you open up this purse, you're like, what the fuck is that? And some
I would
writing.
have done it on like the underside where they won't see it. That's what he should have done. He's doing it on like the bottom of the liver.
Yeah.
Oh, this is mad. This is actually a thread for sociopaths.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's going to be a rabbit hole.
Yeah. What kind of music do y'all enjoy? It's sort of like, people want to know, like, what are you fucking bad men into?
Drunk and hungry, is it?
Does sociopaths listen to different music to other people?
Guess they're curious to find out.
Curios cast.
More high intensity or low intensity genre? Would you consider it more uplifting or negative? Do you think there's a correlation between antisocial behaviour and music genre or not?
Oh, what's the top rated post of all time? Come on.
How do you know that? I don't know how to.
If you go to the top and then click all posts, top left.
Yeah, see, it's
top.
probably sorted by hot right now.
Top. Right. I'm on
click
top.
on where it says hot, and then you can change it to
and
top.
Do top of all time.
And then top of all time.
Today of all time. Okay, I see.
Yeah. And it will, yeah.
It's a SpongeBob fucking like meme. I'm too selfish for my own good, and it's like expectations, cunning, manipulative, evil, violent, etc. Reality, help. I isolated myself from my colleagues again, and I might lose my current job.
Classic meme.
And the next one's a fucking like Always Sunny meme with that thing, and it's like my coworker explaining how he could easily point out a sociopath. And then there's a picture of them in like a seal thing saying me sitting right in front of him.
Right. That's enough meme descriptions. All right. I like that one.
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad you like that one because we've really not saved the best till last. So there is one thing that I want to quickly bring up before my final one. Do you remember our friend of the show, Yuri Tolochko?
Which one is he?
So he's the guy who has sex with an ashtray.
Yeah.
And then he's married sex dolls.
So. Yeah.
So he did another interview recently.
Brilliant.
So he's about still.
He is about, yeah.
And his latest thing is that he wants to he's seeking help to attempt to have sex with himself.
Oh,
I've seen that done.
Yeah, I've seen that done. I've seen a video of it.
Yeah,
pretty.
Well, I reckon
basic
old
stuff,
Old matey in Nigeria would be able to do that.
Yeah, probably.
The thing is, it's hard when it gets hard because it
you
doesn't
need to
really
be able
go
to be a little flaccid,
back.
don't you?
Yeah.
So Yuri's on a quest now to have sex with himself. There's not really a whole lot to this little thing. I just wanted to bring him back up. But his main purpose was to let the interviewer know that he can climax by sniffing himself.
Oh.
So that's his latest thing. So coming when he sniffs himself.
That's
So he has
different.
a little bottle of his scent.
Right.
When he sniffs it, he just jizzes. On
Wait.
command.
Let's back up a minute.
Mm.
He has a bottle of his scent.
Yeah.
What's that? What does that mean?
Well, a bottle of his scent.
Yeah, but what? Like, how does one collect your scent and bottle it?
I guess he probably just holds the bottle and just fires it all around.
No, like, what the fuck?
It doesn't say what sort of scent it is, whether it's a fart or...
It's got to be his balls. Surely that's like your biggest scent.
I
That's
mean,
where,
yeah,
your
like
pheromones
balls
are.
and
And your sweat and that.
armpits, right?
Yeah.
That's
What? And he's like
Anus.
sweated that into like a scent.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how he's... I don't think it's quite that
I like the way that's the
scientific,
part
Rob. It's
where-
probably just he's just bottled air close to him that now
No,
he...
bullshit. No, that wouldn't work at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He probably thinks that is my
I
scent
think-
in that bottle.
it would.
Opens
Like, it
it
wouldn't
up
be
and then-
very efficient, but I reckon you'd get some smell in there.
Nah.
Yeah. Well, Rob, I've created a lovely little segue into my main story.
Oh, right, good.
So we'll leave Yuri Tolochko until
Yeah.
next time, because I'm sure he's going to
Okay.
pop up again.
All right, brilliant. Maybe we can interview him and I'll ask him those hard-hitting questions.
So we're going to go from Yuri Tolochko and his own scent to Blown Away. Woman who sold farts in a jar retires after being hospitalised.
Classic.
Have
Have we heard about her before? Is this a revisit? 'Cause I feel
No,
like
I don't think so. I
familiar with a
don't
woman
think
that
we've
farts in a
spoken
jar.
about
Okay.
this.
We have spoke
particular-
about farts in a jar before because my mate at school done it, but
Tell me about your mate at school, because I was trying to remember this the other day, and I thought, have I made this up?
yeah, I didn't make it up.
No,
Wait,
no,
what
no.
did
I
you
was
say?
wondering if I made this up. I remembered
Oh.
something. I was trying to tell someone about a fart in a jar, and I couldn't remember the story.
Yeah. So I was probably about like 16, 17, so not even like that young really in terms of like what age people put farts in jars. But my mate had a big tub of millions, like the sweets, where you get those tiny little millions of
Yeah.
like raspberry. And he used to just sit and eat them like all day long, whatever. And he eventually finished the jar, and he was like, "This is a cool jar," and he just kind of like kept it around. And one day he just decided to start farting in it, and I think it was because it sounded good, like the reverberation he quite liked. So when we was playing on Xbox, he'd be like, "Oh guys, listen to this," and we'd hear him like fart into the plastic tub like, through the microphone, and it sounded great. And then he realised like when he would open it next, he would be able to smell the fart. He would realise he was like unintentionally trapping the farts in there. So I imagine you fart in there and most of the air gets out, but some of it doesn't. So
What do you reckon the half-life of a fart in a jar is? Like, if you just
I wonder.
farted and it left it, how long would it last for? It's not indefinite, surely?
If you left it open or closed?
No, closed. So if you
Yeah,
closed
closed.
it.
Closed. Oh, I reckon quite a while. I reckon it does stay in there for a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah. But what he was doing, he started intentionally farting. And you know, sometimes you can tell when it's going to be a smelly one. So he would,
Yeah.
especially when it's a smelly one, he would even like pull his trousers down and get like proper butt cheek action in there. And he'd fart in there and then close the lid as quick as he could. And he would do it over and over, and he'd done it for weeks. And it got to a point where he was like, it's starting to smell like real farty, like because it's a mix of all different types of farts. So he's farting in it, and kept farting. And one day I was at his house, and I don't know what made him do this, but he like picked it up and brought it downstairs and was like, "Oh, Mum, remember that jar of millions?" She's like, "Yeah." She goes, "It still smells like really nice. It smells like raspberries or whatever." I unscrewed it, and she took the biggest fucking whiff I've ever seen. She like stuck her face right in it and just. Just breathed in months of farts.
Oh, no.
And instantly she started like gagging and throwing up in her sink. And she's obviously like probably really embarrassed that like I'm there as well, just like her son's mate, and we're just both cracking up, and she's like throwing up in the sink, and like I guess you couldn't get that out of your throat, and she's
Oh.
Yes, and he was on the floor rolling, like dying of laughter. And I think he got in a lot of trouble when I left later that evening. But it was so fucking funny.
I'd remembered the story. Not that bad. Not that bad. I was trying to tell Gina, and I sort of remembered it that like I'd heard it on the internet or something, and someone opened a smelly jar of farts. And died or something. This is the story I remember.
No, it didn't go that way.
Choked on it and died, but it wasn't as bad as that. But it wasn't as far off as I remembered.
Oh no, his mum's still alive.
All right, that's good to know. But she did have quite a strong reaction to it though, which is funny.
Oh yeah, I think especially like because you're expecting a sweet smell.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Switcheroo.
Yeah, it's like when you drink.
That was one of the best days of my life.
Or you drink a drink and you think it's one thing, even if you like the thing that it is.
Oh yeah.
If you think it's something else, it tastes rank. Imagine that, but like smell version, and it being awful. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Right.
I remember at school, people used to fart into Lucozade bottles. You know the squeezy ones, like the squeezy top.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Used to fart into that, and then if you squeezed it, you'd get a little.
That literally does shit in your face.
Fart spray. Yeah,
I remember that.
Oh, man.
That's horrible. Anyway, back to old Matey that was hospitalised after selling farts in a jar. So this is a lady. She's from 90 Day Fiancé. Don't know if you ever watched that show.
I haven't watched it. I know of it.
Lynn likes to watch it quite a lot. So she's like an influencer. She's got an OnlyFans. Obviously, just doing it for clout and to make a bit of money. But she started selling farts in a jar. She says, this is a quote from when she explained what happened. She says, "I thought I was having a stroke and that these were my final moments. I was overdoing it." So Stephmatos has grossed nearly $254,000 from selling her farts in a jar, but is now retiring from the gassy business. Stephmatos, 31, thought she was having a stroke, but eventually learned that excessively farting in jars and the diet that comes with it was too much for her body to handle. Matto was popping out up to 50 jars of farts a week, which required her to increase her fibre intake.
This is fucking stupid. This is just nonsense, surely.
There was another news story. I won't talk about it, but one of the top Twitch streamers announced today that she's going to be selling her farts in a jar. So it's like obviously it's like Belle Delphine doing bath water, and I think she was doing farts in a jar as well, or something in a jar, probably like spit or something stupid.
It was bath water in a jar, wasn't it? It was in little jars.
Was it bath water?
Yeah, it was in.
I'll send you the article so you can have a look at it as well. So it continues here. It says she'd previously subsided on beans and eggs, but began mixing it up with banana protein shakes to enhance the smell.
Right.
Ooh. So she was making sure that it was a stinky one. However, she eventually began to experience more than just the sweet smell of success. "I thought I was having a stroke and that these were my final moments. I was overdoing it," she said. "I didn't tell my doctors about the farting in the jar, but I did tell them about my diet. It was made clear that what I was experiencing wasn't a stroke or a heart attack, but just very intense gas pains." Her doctor advised her to change her diet and put her on a gas suppressant medication, which she says has effectively ended my business. Shit.
Oh, man. I mean, surely you could just sell them, but not as much, right?
You don't have to bang them out like a million a week.
Yeah, then they're even rarer, and you can charge more for them.
Wow, this guy's a business.
She was charging
true businessman there.
She was charging $500 for a fart jar. Oh, was she?
She says reportedly made around $1,270 a jar, though she offered a 50% discount during the holidays.
Wow.
Christmas cheer.
Well, yeah, she just got fucking greedy then.
Huh?
She just got fucking greedy then. You could just sell two of those a fucking week. You're laughing.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, if I did it, I could probably do 50 a week. No, I wouldn't need to change my diet. Like, I wouldn't need to eat beans and fucking protein shakes.
Without a doubt, I could fill 30 jars before I even get out of bed.
just connect you up like a gas pipeline.
It is bullshit though, surely. Like, no one buys that. No one buys that. This is not true. Do people really buy that? Really?
They must do. Because people bought the Belle Delphine stuff, didn't they?
I suppose. And a lot of people sort of said they're buying it for the meme, you know, and the fact I'm buying it is like a meme.
No, I'll tell you. So the Twitch stream you're talking about is Amaranth, and Amaranth selling her farts in a jar. People are going to buy that. She's selling them for $1,000 each, and I guarantee she's going to have people buying them. Like, so she got real big on Twitch like during lockdown, and she was already pretty big, and she would sit and like pretend to play games and like mostly just talking to chat or whatever. And she's just got big tits, and it's a lot of like teenagers probably watching her and shit. But she was one of the first. I don't know if you know about like the bath hot tub streaming sort of frenzy that went on.
Right.
So on Twitch, you can obviously choose a game and you can play that game, and your category will be that game. Or if you just want to talk and you don't want to play a game, you set the category to just chatting, and it will just be you're just chatting with your fans, whatever.
Yeah. And
she and a couple other girls would literally in their room have a hot tub, like a blow up like hot tub, whatever, and sit in a hot tub in their bikinis and just talk to chat as it's coming through. And then when someone would donate like a big amount of money, so if someone chucks $50 at her, she would like write their name on the whiteboard, which is like behind the hot tub. She's bending over, so you're basically paying like $50 for her to bend over like in this hot tub or whatever. Or it'll be like, oh yeah, this amount, and I'll splash around or something. And and they were making so much fucking money. And
it's crazy. Then
Twitch added a new category and said if you want to basically it was like pools, hot tubs and beaches or whatever. So it's like if you're basically in a bikini or whatever, you have to be in a separate category. You can't be in just chatting. And that kind of killed the vibe. That
Why did that change it?
Because it was like you'd go on just chatting, which is meant to be people talking, whether it's like about politics or just being funny or whatever, and you go on there and the top like 10 streamers were all just big titty streamers with hot tubs, and you're like, okay, this is kind of ruined. Like, it doesn't look good on the website, I guess.
Yeah.
So they had this separate category, but then now she still goes to just chatting, or she goes to the ASMR category. And she talks into the microphone.
Right,
and says, thank you for the donation. Oh, yeah.
But why I don't get why it killed the business for them moving it, or did it not? It just changed the...
I don't know.
I suppose you had less people stumbling across it.
I think the allure of it was, I'm not going there to see her in a bikini. I'm going there to chat. I don't know.
Right,
but,
yeah.
And I think just the I guess the hype kind of died. Like it was dead thing now. But people are definitely gonna buy these fart jars. Like she makes so much fucking money. She's she's not one of the biggest streamers on the platform, like in terms of views, I don't think, but in terms of donations, she definitely is like one of the biggest.
Well, if listeners, if you want to crowdfund one of was it Amaranth?
Amaranth. Yeah.
Farts in a jar. Look on our Patreon. There's a Patreon tier for Fart in a Jar. And then we're going to be working on getting Rob a tier if you want one of Rob's farts. They're like £2. What do you
£2.50? £2, I reckon, yeah.
£2.50.
One day we should actually do that.
I reckon there's a couple of people that comment on the YouTube on the reg that would like a little fart in a jar. I reckon one of them boys. Surely.
I'm not sure about that. Remember, there was that woman
you're calling out like there's 3 guys.
Exactly, yeah. Well, there's 3 of us, fart each.
There was that woman who sold like Cornwall Air or something, wasn't it, for a while? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And she was selling it for like £100 or like quite a lot of money. And but I don't know whether it was a joke, but you went on it and it was like always sold out, the expensive ones. And I don't know whether that was the joke.
It was like advertised for those who live in a city. I need to get some fresh air or something instead of going out to the countryside or seaside or whatever.
Yeah, and it was like loads of really expensive options were sold out, and there was one that was like kind of cheap. That was like, was that the sort of joke / tactic?
Maybe.
Don't know.
Oh well, hopefully Amaranth doesn't strain herself too much, and maybe selling for £1,000 a pop.
So they're actually cheaper than what was her name, Stephmatos. Although I think these are maybe Australian dollars. I don't know. No, they're US dollars. So
it's a bargain, mate. Bargain.
Yeah, I mean, compared to Steph, I mean, would you rather have one of the top streamers on Twitch or some woman from 90 Day Fiancé?
But she could be one of the top farters. You don't know. Like, I'll be looking for fart quality.
That's true.
We don't know. And also, though, are you paying $1,000 to open it and smell it, or are you keeping it locked in for like you put it on a rack with all with your other farts that you've bought off?
Yeah. How do farts age? Are they?
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah,
Is it like a wine kind of deal here?
You have to keep the jar on its side. So it doesn't get corked.
Yeah. Well, on that bombshell, I think we've said enough about farts.
Well, one last thing, right? It's not on farts. This is different.
Oh, God,
but something that you remember a while ago we were talking about world records that you could try and beat, Tom.
Yes.
So you found one that seems easy.
Yep.
Right. So what the hell was that? Was that a blow up?
That was a bit of a weird sneeze.
That was the weirdest sneeze I've ever heard.
It was me trying to contain it from being too mad. So it's coming.
So Australian man stacks 6 M&Ms, earns world record. So he's stacked 6 M&Ms in a vertical stack, and that is the world record.
Cool, no, but that's well hard though. That does sound hard.
I'm quite good at stacking things.
Oh, there you go,
surely,
Tom.
I mean, surely it can't be that difficult.
One day I'm going to be in this book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's one to try, Tom.
I wonder what the rules are about that. Do they have to be from the same packet? Because if you give me like 20 packets of M&Ms, you can find the ones that are the most optimal stacking shape and size. You know, you want a big flattish one at the bottom and kind of like work your way up.
Yeah. I wonder how they tell as well, because like, do you have to get them and show, because you could sort of cheat that. You could shave off a little bit,
I think that glue there. Present. So there's a video of him.
Yeah.
I'll send you the video of him doing it, of him achieving. He's using like tissue paper to pick up the, I guess to stop obviously his fingers from melting.
Maybe if it melts, then you're not allowed. That's part of the deal.
Oh,
yeah,
that makes it harder using tissue paper.
There you go.
Maybe those like paper gloves you can get. I'm going to work on it. I was hopeful about the loudest burp one because I think I'm quite a gassy person. I burp quite a lot and I burp quite loud. But then I think that was just because I was I'm lactose intolerant and I was eating and drinking a lot of dairy. And then now I've stopped intaking dairy. I'm not burping as solidly as I once was. So I think if I want to break this record, I'm going to have to just poison myself with more lactose. Yeah, I'm going to have to drink some milk, have a bad reaction, and maybe I'll get a big burp.
Yeah, reasonable.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched or did you ever watch Kenny versus Spenny?
No.
What's that?
You ever heard of it? It was I think it's Canadian. I remember watching it years ago. It's these two guys that just do challenges against each other. It's from like 2003. And one of them is who can blow the loudest fart or the biggest fart. So they spend a day with methane counters, just farting into the methane counters to try and get the biggest fart.
Yeah.
And one of them makes a big chili to try and make his farts a bit bigger. And eventually one of them puts like a tube in his arse and he's blowing air into his bum. So he's like at the end of the tube and he's blowing air into his bum and then does a massive fart.
Nice.
But it's just quite funny. I think maybe we should see who can do the biggest fart as well. I mean, I think I'll definitely win, 100%.
My friend with a fart jar used to be able to fart on command as well. He could suck the air in through his bumhole and then fart it back out.
I used to be able to do that when I was younger. Yeah, and we've definitely spoke about this before as well. And I lost the knack.
The only problem with those is they're not that smelly because it's just the air that you've only just intaken. It's not brewed from inside.
Yeah.
But is this the same friend that had a wank on Xbox Live?
Yes. He also this one time. This is
didn't he do a poo over Xbox or something?
One time he told me this story. He was in bed and he was having a wank and he was kind of nearing the end and he looked around. There was like no tissue paper, like nothing. And he didn't know what to do. So he grabbed like a sheet of paper, and he came on a sheet of paper, and in his mind he thought like that'll be fine because it absorbs water pretty fine. Like it will just absorb the cum similar to like tissue paper does, but it didn't. It was just sitting on top, like sloshing around. He's like, oh no! So he's like trying to like not have it pour everywhere. So he kind of like folds it a little bit, so it was all kept inside. And he's like, oh no! And he's like, doesn't know what to do. He's like, I can't just put this in the bin because like someone will see my cummy paper or something. So he went across the landing to the toilet and he tried to flush it down the toilet, but the paper wouldn't flush. So he was just like awkwardly, he's in the toilet and everyone's in the house and he's thinking, oh no, how do I get rid of this tissue paper? So he's like trying to like break it up somehow. Oh, it's in the toilet. He's like flushing this paper, but the paper just floats. And I can't remember what he'd done to resolve it. I think he just got loads of tissue paper to like weigh it down from the top and then flushed it, and that kind of got rid of it. But he said he came out and like his dad was like, basically said like, you have a big shit in there, because he like flushed the toilet 9 times or something. He's yeah, big one.
Oh shit, that's so awkward.
Yeah, he's got some good stories.
Well,
I love it. Well, on that bombshell.
Yeah, on that classic Curios ending, I think.
Yeah, we've had big dicks, cum, fart jars.
Yeah. M&Ms.
M&Ms. Yeah.
Psychopath surgeons.
Oh yeah, psychopath
sociopath
livers.
surgeons. Maybe not full
livers.
psychopath. Yeah. Well,
Argon lasers.
Yeah.
Limbs.
Yeah, well, it was good to be back, boys.
Yeah.
But no ghouls, no Bigfoot, no goblins.
Yeah, it's maybe why.
Tune in for next time. You never know. Might be ghouls and goblins.
Oh.
All at once.
All right.
Thanks for listening. That was episode 73 of the Curios cast.
Is it? Wow. All right. Peace.
73.
Getting up there.